We're moving a few plants on this morning, putting them into the container ready for overwinter. Obviously we're sticking to the cold hardy plants, so I'm going to move on some spring onions today. We've got a pack of 40 bunches behind me, and they're not massive, but they are a couple of inch tall now, and because I'm going to be growing these particular ones in greenhouse, it's going to be perfectly fine to move them. And I'm going to plant them quite close together because I'm more interested in the greens on these than I am the actual bulbs. And if we let them grow to a certain height and harvest them and leave them in here, they'll actually regrow. So that's the plan for this. And I've just filled that with some rough compost. So now I just need to top it back off again with some finer quality stuff. If you're doing spring onions in a greenhouse, in containers, you can pretty much grow them all year. And they are quite shallow rooted plants as well. And this is quite a deep container, but we are putting a lot in here, so we're accommodating that as well. So I've actually filled this a couple of inches from top. It's going to be plenty for what we're putting in. And then as always, we like to level it down. So these are the spring onions that we've been growing, and they're called White Lisbon. And we put them into these really cheap packs, but they're good enough for what we're doing. We're trying to get spring onion plugs so we can just pop one out and put it straight back in where we want it to be moved to. But they're going to be in here for quite a while, so I am going to add a bit of feed to this as well. So because, like I say, I'm actually growing these onions for the greens more than the actual onion bulbs, and that's why I'm going to put them close together. And we'll stick a bit of fish blood and bone in there as well. So I'm basically going to make these holes deep enough to take them plugs, and we'll do 2 rows in this container. We can always plant some more spring onions if we need to be, and I'm only going to do them a couple of inches apart as well. So something like that. Obviously we don't have to be completely accurate when we do this. And then I'm going to add some of this fish blood and bone, and we can get it into the bottoms of those holes where the roots are going to be going, so they're getting instant feed. Let's pop some of these plugs out. They haven't got much of a root system, although they have got some. So if you're not careful planting them this early, these plugs could fall apart. But we can push them right in deep like that, and then build around the base to push those onions back together like that. We just want to keep them nice and compact, upright, where possible. That's one that just came off, but you can see the start of a tiny little bulb at the bottom. So we're basically putting 10 sets of onions in this, and that's going to be a lot of onion greens. Obviously you can still grow on to be bulbing spring onions if you want to. You'll still get some bulbs out of these if you leave them, although that's preference. Like I say, I prefer the green tops because they're perfect for mixing up with things like mashed potatoes and chucking into countless other meals as well, just to add that bit of flavour. Get another one down there. And because we're moving them into this bigger container, these onions will soon start to pick up. You can actually already smell the onion. Last one. And that, quick and easy, we've got 10 sets of spring onions in quite a small container. And we've still got 30 sets left to grow on. So I'll just water these in now. And I always water them carefully around the base of those plants. Because we've just transplanted them, we don't want to be knocking them over. Just as long as these roots are getting some moisture. And also we've put that fertiliser in the bottoms of these holes as well. So we're watering them and feeding them at the same time. And we're all done. So we'll just pop these to one side. And for today, I'll just keep them in a shaded area, just because they've been transplanted, and give them time to establish in the new home. And meanwhile, we've been bringing in some of these fuchsia plants, because it's getting quite cold now. Because we're dropping below 50 at night time, we've got these plants. These are actually hardy fuchsias. So these will survive overwintering if we keep them in here. And they're too pretty to let go to waste outside. Anyway, I've got a few more bits and bobs to get done. Saturday afternoon, sun's out for now. It is a little bit colder than it has been, but it is coming up towards mid-October. So the fact that we're still managing to grow things in this greenhouse still makes it worth that bit of effort to plant a few seeds. Anyway, we'll see you on next update, and if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Enjoy your weekend. You all take care.